Hey everyone, this is the Mind of Lilith, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about some of the comments I've read about Martell's feelings being hurt because Melody did not take the kids to the book signing. I also saw that Melody responded to some of the backlash regarding the book signings because the pick-me's and the chauvinists in the community were rattled at the sight of seeing a grown black man suffer the consequences of his own actions. I didn't watch her response yet because I wanted to make sure that everything I'm going to say are my own words, because some people have accused me of working for Melody, which is absolutely untrue. First of all, Melody should not have to apologize for refusing to continue to bend over backwards for a man who spits in her face every time she does him a favor. The reason why Martell felt comfortable scheduling the book signing on Mel's time is because he's used to Melody accommodating him and his needs. And in return for her graciousness, he continues to disrespect and invalidate her and act like she has done nothing right. He continues to act like she's attacking him. She's making his life difficult. She's bitter. She's punishing him, etc. Let's go through the timeline, okay? Melody covered for Martell while they were married, right? They were running their businesses, and she shared the glory and the success from her hard work, her discipline, and her business license, her builder's license with him. I'm not saying that Martell did nothing to help the business, but his actual contributions to their business was not 50-50, especially in the latter years when he was cheating. But in spite of this, Melody gave Martell 50-50 credit. Martell spent 5 years playing hooky with his mistress, while Melody put in the hard work and effort to keep their businesses afloat and to put out the fires from his negligence. In return for her loyalty and dedication, Martell paid the mistress's bills with Melody's money. So, Melody finds out about the affair, leaves the marital home, separates from Martell, and has a 3-week fling. And, Martell begs for Melody to come back. Mel tells him about the fling, and he uses it as an excuse to continue seeing the mistress and allowing the mistress to disrespect her, because according to Martell, Melody had no right to separate and explore a new relationship after finding out her husband has been cheating behind her back for 2 years. Okay? Anyway, Melody finds out that Martell doesn't intend to stop cheating, so she files for divorce. Martell refuses to leave the marital home, so he forces the mother of his 4 children and a newborn, including a newborn, right, to find a new home. And at some point, he tries to stop Melody from retrieving her stuff from the old home. Martell is stalling the divorce proceedings while telling everyone that Melody is the one delaying the divorce. And he's still allowing the broke mistress to antagonize the mother of his 4 children. After all of this, Melody is still gracious enough to give Martell 50% custody of the kids. She doesn't ask for child support or alimony. In return for her goodwill, Martell steals $17,000 from her to help support the broke mistress he got pregnant at the same time Melody was pregnant with her 5th child, which, by the way, was only 3 months after she had her 4th child. And then Martell goes on camera and asks Melody, what did she do with the money that she stole from him? Now, mind you, Martell was falsely accusing Melody of stealing the money she earned while he was getting his mistress pregnant 3 times, okay? So while Martell was playing hooky, Melody was working extra hard, and this is the money that was earned while he was playing around, right? So Melody decides to terminate her 5th pregnancy because Martell would not stop cheating, but he tells Dr. Heavenly that Melody had an abortion because she was messing with another man. Fast forward, the divorce is finalized. Martell has split custody, no alimony, no child support, and a new side baby with the woman who was satisfying him. But he's still broke as fuck, so Melody has to extend her kindness again to cover the majority of the child care expenses. And, she didn't even penalize him for not honoring the visitation that he wasn't adhering to because he said he was broke. So on top of that, Melody is still paying bills at the house Martell forced her to leave after giving birth to his 4 children, okay? In return for Melody's kindness, Martell goes on social media and implies that Melody does not watch the kids, that she allows her brother Marcus to abuse them, and that she lets a bunch of people watch them. Then he goes on camera and asks for full custody of the kids after Melody was gracious enough to give him joint custody, despite the fact that the divorce was his fault. After the divorce, Martell gets on the reunion stage and further disrespects his ex-wife by comparing her to the broke mistress who helped to facilitate the divorce he never wanted in the first place. Martell compared the mother of his 4 children, who ran 2 successful businesses, with a woman who relies on him to take care of her while he sells calendars and wine inspired by Melody. Martell is more angry with Melody for cutting off the cash than he is with the woman who verbally and psychologically abused the cash cow. Martell never publicly chastised his mistress for disrespecting the mother of his 4 children, who has never even spoken her name publicly. But Martell wants to keep relying on the fact that Melody has always been the bigger person of the situation and has always put the children first, which has protected him from dealing with the consequences of his actions. Okay? Melody refuses to disrespect Martell on social media in spite of everything he's done to her. Then we find out that Martell is spying on Melody, recording her conversations, stalking her, and making the custody arrangement very difficult in order to force Melody to give him full custody when she's been fair with him from the very beginning. Now Melody has finally cut Martell off completely, and he's going on a sympathy campaign, lamenting about Melody not letting him see the children on her time. Martell had 26 weeks to choose for the book signing. He chose Melody's week because he assumed that, like in the past, every time, she would always make sure he got what he wanted, no matter how bad of a person he tells everyone she is. Martell is used to Melody being the bigger person, putting the kids' needs above her own need to be respected, protected, and affirmed. Now that she's established strong boundaries, Martell is triggered because he has to actually deal with the consequences of his actions. And the pygmies and chauvinists are triggered because they are psychologically programmed to coddle grown-ass black men. The pygmies and chauvinists think that women are obligated to pick up the pieces and suffer alone, while the men who are big and strong and leaders, right? They're the gods of the community, while these strong, big men have to be shielded and protected from the consequences of their premeditated, abusive, and disrespectful behavior, which is why so many women stay with men who constantly cheat. They can't stand to see their man suffering the loss of the relationship, and they don't want another woman to pick up their trash. I say all of this to say, fuck Martell's feelings. From the beginning, Melody has been mature. She has consistently bent over backwards for years to accommodate Martell's selfishness and abuse, and now he's spoiled. He's used to getting his way. She stayed married to his ass because she knew he could barely take care of himself without her. And to reward her for her loyalty and love and protection for him, he refused to protect her from his mistress to this day. His mistress is still talking shit about Melody to his day. His mistress is still talking shit about the mother of his 4 children he says he loves so much to this day. So why should Melody give a fuck about Martell's feelings when he clearly doesn't give a damn about hers? That's all I have to say about that. Thank you guys for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.